Starting next week, EWTN will air a new documentary on a nearly 3-decade-long legal battle over the freedom to speak publicly against abortion.
He won the case. The only case I know of in history that's gone 3 times to the Supreme Court.
Fighting for life, the story of Now versus Scheidler details pro-life leader Joe Scheidler and his journey to the Supreme Court. It includes interviews with Joe Scheidler, who died in January at the age of 93, and his wife Ann. Hosted by Abby Johnson, the movie airs Monday night at 6:30 p.m. For other airing times, check out our website, EWTN.com. And joining us now is Ann Scheidler, Pro-Life Action League Vice President and Thomas More Society Founding Director and Chairman of the Board. Ann, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And also want to say we are so sorry for the loss of your husband. I know your late husband was called the Godfather of Pro-life Advocacy. What inspired him, and how did the two of you become involved in the pro-life movement?
Well, actually, just prior to Roe v. Wade coming down from the Supreme Court in the October before that, we had gone to a rally at what was then called the Civic Center Plaza. It's Daley Plaza now in Chicago, because there was a move in Illinois to try to liberalize the abortion laws in Illinois. And it wasn't going to happen. Illinois was pro-life at the time. But we went to this rally, and we had 3 little kids at the time, and thought, well, we'll be supportive. So as we came into the plaza, someone handed Joe a life or death flyer that was put out by Jack Wilkie in Cincinnati. And the backside of that flyer had a picture of a day's work in a Canadian abortion hospital with these very, very late-term aborted babies in a garbage bag. And one of those babies, the picture looked very much like our oldest son Eric's picture as a baby. And it just really struck Joe. He was just horrified at the thought and started doing a lot of research on abortion methods, on fetal development. But we did not know that there were cases going through the courts. So when Roe v. Wade was released in January of 1973, it came as a complete shock. And we just could not believe that this was America that we lived in. I happened to be pregnant at the time, 4.5 months pregnant with our 4th baby, who turned out to be our first girl. And we just could not believe that our government no longer recognized the humanity of our baby. So that was the beginning of getting involved in trying to reverse the whole situation.
And as we know, your case went before the Supreme Court, that is 3 times. Talk to us a little bit about that experience. What was it like? And was there any point during that time when you thought, well, maybe we shouldn't go forward?
No, there never was, actually. Joe got sued after he wrote a book called Closed, 99 Ways to Stop Abortion. The abortion industry evidently really felt like he was the national leader to target to try to discourage the pro-life movement. So, he did get sued by the National Organization for Women. Planned Parenthood was very much behind that lawsuit as well, even though they weren't specifically named, but they operated most of the abortion clinics. So, they were clearly there.
And how important is it for you to continue fighting for life, especially now?
Oh, it's absolutely essential. We can never give up this fight. We had actually hoped that Roe v. Wade would be overturned in the last few years, which of course hasn't happened yet. But even if that does happen, the battle is never going to end. The abortion advocates are going to continue to push and push and push and try to make sure that abortion is never outlawed. And so we have to fight just as hard and probably harder, because every abortion, of course, ends the life of a tiny little child, and they need us. They need our advocacy. We got to be out there.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about the movie or your late husband?
Well, we're excited about the movie. And of course, we had decades and decades of working with Tom Brejcha, founding the Thomas More Society, and his tremendous insight into how to battle the abortion industry. So I think this is really it's going to be fascinating for people to see the story and hear what Tom has to say and what Joe has to say about that battle, which went on for 28 years and 3 trips to the Supreme Court. So.
Yeah, it is amazing. We're really excited to see it. And thank you, Ann, for what you've done and what you continue to do, and for talking with us today. We appreciate it. Ann Scheidler, Pro-Life Action League Vice President, and Thomas More Society Founding Director and Chairman of the Board. Thank you again.
Thanks.